I started having shortness of breath. I want to say around maybe 9. The grace of God, I made it home because, I was gasping for air driving home. And once I got home, I kind of collapsed on the couch, and I was trying to call 911, and my son Christian called 911. It's just like being underwater. You only got a few minutes on how long you can hold your breath, and that's always been a little paranoia for me to not be able to breathe. They got me hooked up to the oxygen. For the time being, I was okay until I started hyperventilating. That's when they got me up to ICU.
Charles came to us. His condition was deteriorating, and the normal course of action in an ICU when you're having respiratory problems is to intubate. With COVID, it was just the opposite. So we pushed that off as long as we could and knew that he was going to have to be intubated. His plea was, don't let me die.
But she came in and she was very straightforward. She said, look, I'm going to need you to fight. And I was like, wow, pray for me. And she was like, no, I'm going to pray with you. She made me feel like I was someone that, she's been knowing forever. And she prayed with me, and I asked her to call my mother. I told her, I said, Mom, I don't want to die. That's the last I remember of that. I was gone.
We huddle at the first of the shift. I'll go in and listen to huddle, and then many times just say a prayer for them and said, let me pray for you for the Lord to protect you through the night, to guide your hands and give you wisdom and strength.
We just kept going no matter what we thought was coming or what we saw or, what each day brought.
What comes, we're going to handle it. We're going to do what we do best. We're critical care nurses, and we save lives.
As a team, we worked very closely together with making sure that IVs were kept going, that nothing ran dry, that whoever was in the room had support.
He was our champion. We rallied around him. We rallied around everybody, but we were especially invested because he was our first intubated patient.
And just to see the strength in Charles, he wanted to fight, and you could see the fight, and that made us want to fight for him as well.
With this pandemic, we don't have any visitors. And so that is very hard on families not to be able to be in with their loved ones. So every day we call twice a day and we give updates.
It was nerve-wracking. I couldn't imagine how close we are. So I couldn't think of my dad's going. I couldn't picture that.
You take a step at a time. We never went backwards with him. We continued to go forward, and I would always say, we didn't go backwards, so we're good.
The doctors that took care of me, they actually sat there and explained to me, whether I was getting better, what I needed to do to get better. So that's a big thing for me, to be able to have people that care for me like that. It meant a lot to me.
And I got to be the one to push Charles out, which was such a beautiful ceremony. And to be part of that, our first person that, we had, it had been through so much, and, we made it as a family, as a team.
I actually think we kind of fought a little bit over who was going to actually wheel him out the day he was discharged.
I was at the door as he rolled out, and actually went out to the car, and it's very hard to put into words without getting emotional. It was a win for North Pinellas and Charles.
I could never repay them for just the time and the care that they put into taking care of me. Hey, it's safe to say I love them. I love them because through God, through them, I'm here, It just makes you look at life in a whole different perspective, and thank God that I'm still around to be able to say, hey, come here and give me a hug, or jump in my truck and go to the beach and, meditate, get on my metal detector, or, take pictures or things of that nature, things that I like doing.
Makes you appreciate it more.
Yeah, it really does. It really does, It means a lot to just be able to see another day.